Master public speaking. Now listen, I think we all know, more than likely you'd have seen this either in university, school, maybe in your workplace, right? But most guys, when they present like they're about to confess a crime. Like they got their shoulders up, their voice is shaky. Bro, they literally, they look like they don't want to even be there in the first place. But well, let me tell you something right now. If you can learn to master public speaking, more importantly, rather than being scared of it and dreading it, being someone who thrives off of it, it will change your life, even outside of public speaking. And you know what, just for a bit of reference, right? I used to compete in public speaking competitions, and I also had the highest average grade in my university for public speaking, or I should say presentation. And now with that being said, I might come across to you now as someone who's just naturally good at public speaking. But what if I told you that my first ever presentation actually ended up with me in tears, like physically crying on stage in front of my entire class? All right, so I just threw that out there. You better not tell anyone about that, or else I'll kill you probably. Well, maybe not. But I just say that to tell you that if I can go from that to being someone who thrives off of it, believe me, I can teach you too. All right. So with that being said, let's get into it. Now, the first rule to mastering a presentation is, of course, finding like so much passion for it, right? Now that can be easier said than done. That's much easier said than done. But believe me, there's always something. Now, if it's your own speech, of course, that's like a lot easier to do. But even if it's like a university paper, if you can just cling on to one single thing that you can like orbit the entire presentation around, that you just find so cool, and that would be sick. So just as an example of this, when I was in university, I actually studied economics, right? And in case you didn't realize something about economics, there's a lot of boring research papers that you have to read through. And we had to do a presentation on one of them about how food aid affects economics and how it affects political tension. And honestly, that was something that I did not care about one bit. But there was one fact that I picked up on, right? Which is that food aid in domestic conflict, so like let's say it's the government versus rebels, will actually prolong the conflict. And the reason why it prolongs conflict is because the rebels would actually steal the food aid, and then they use the food to either feed their troops, win approval from other villagers, or they'd sell off the food to then buy it for ammo. And so of course that was like a big problem. And guess what? When I found that one little fact, the presentation was over, because I obsessed over that one key point. And when it came to delivering that point, I really milked it. Like I showed my conviction to the audience about how insane this is and how cool it was, right? So that's the first tip. So my advice is, if you either have a speech from a lecture or you're delivering your own speech, try to pin like one or two things that you just think is so cool, and like just milk it, literally just milk it in front of the audience. And believe me, there's always something. If you haven't found something, you haven't looked hard enough, right? Just believe me. All right, tip number 2 for mastering your presentation is to speak in punchlines, not paragraphs. It's so important that I say this because you know what? When I was in university, I would see so many speeches with a guy. I'm gonna actually grab my iPad. This is where my script is, by the way. The guy would literally grab his laptop or the notes and he'd read like this and never stop. He's like, oh yeah, so the paper of 1920, like bro, like if you're doing that, right, you sound no different from the typical university lecturer. And what I mean by that is that nobody's fucking listening. Like nobody's listening to you. Instead, it's so much better to speak the way I am right now. Pause. Play, right? Speak when you want. And don't be afraid to let people hang on to your word, all right? And this is the difference, right? Because when you see university lecturers, but then compare them to like people you see on TED, I think it's called TED Talk or whatever it is, right? That one platform where everyone speaks, right? And they give like motivational speeches. When you compare the two, there's like a day and night difference, right? And they could be talking about the exact same thing, but the way it's delivered was so different. Speak in punchlines, not paragraphs, because that extra little bit is what's gonna get people ticking and actually listening to you. Like just to break it down for you, right? The reason why this works is because your brain understands the information, theirs doesn't, right? So you need to feed it in like bite-sized chunks. If you just keep on spieling, You're doing too much, and they can't digest all of that in one go. You have to let them hang on to each sentence so that they can properly digest it. The third and final tip, and this one you'll probably relate to as it will probably hit close to home, but it's to understand that the audience, the people who are watching, are actually more scared than you. When you go up on stage, about 90% of the audience who's watching, you know what they're thinking? Do you know what they're thinking? Their first thought is gonna be, holy shit, I'm glad I'm not the one up there. Because guess what? They're more scared than you. Like, they're literally just like, when you think about it, you're literally the bravest person in the room. You're showing them what they're too scared to do in the first place, which is go up on stage and speak. I'm gonna literally compare it. I'm gonna straight up compare it to, for them, it's like watching someone walk on the moon. I'm not joking. That's how people feel about public speaking, right? It's like watching someone else walk on the moon. So you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna walk on the fucking moon. You're gonna show them what they can do, what we're all capable of doing, and it's not a big deal. And the reason why I say that is more because instead of you being scared and seeing it as, oh, they're the enemy and I'm like defenseless, so I have to make sure I'm perfect, although they'll like laugh at me, right? Instead, think of it as a position for you to actually inspire them. Go up on stage and show them what you guys can really do. Get yourself upstage, right? Have a pair of fucking balls and lead, bro. Show them, inspire them. Show them that it's not a big deal. Show them what you're made of. Show them of, what we're all capable of, right? And this can be fun. Yeah, guys, that's it for me today. Don't forget the 3 tips, all right? So it is to find passion in something in your speech, right? Something that you can hang on to. Second is to speak in punchlines, not paragraphs. And third is to understand that you're the bravest person in the room. Go up there, lead, all right? Inspire, make a difference. Be the type of guy that, after your speech, they're gonna feel like, damn, who the hell was that guy? You know what? I need to get friends with him. I need to make sure that I'm on his presentation group next time, because that's what happened with me. And that's what I'm trying to share with you. But yeah, aside from that, guys, I am back to uploading 2 to 3 times on YouTube about everything social skills, gym, and mindset related. So if you don't want to miss those videos and you like this one, like the video down below, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next one. Peace.